All right. Sorry. We are live. I will be inviting my beautiful friend Miruna. Forgetting what his. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, girl?
I'm great. I'm great. I came in quickly. I don't even know if you had the chance to
I
say we are
swear,
live.
it's amazing.
I
I was
just
like just two
popped.
seconds in. I was like, I'm gonna be inviting you, and then boom, you came in, girl. We're getting better
It's
at
like,
this.
okay, we're getting
And I
better at
didn't put any
this.
makeup, so I'm like, oh my gosh, and the lighting is like super clear here. All right,
Au
so
naturel. You look
perfect,
luminous. I love
perfect,
it.
like we are, right? This is amazing. I'm so happy. So, thank you so much for joining me today. So, as usual, just for people who are joining us, we're just making a quick live where we talk about soulful things and different themes about spirituality and then how to show up better for ourselves and techniques that we have had or experiences. And we'll do that for the next. Yeah, it's in English. I don't know, Chloe.
Allô, Chloé.
Is it the Chloe we know? Is it the
C'est
Chloe
Chloé de We
from Alia?
Know. C'est notre Chloé.
Oh, really?
Coucou, c'est un anglais.
Hi. Oh, I
Oh.
didn't know. I was like, I don't know this name. Hi, Chloe. I hope you're doing great. And then we'll do that for a short 30 minutes. We'll try to time us. So this time, I'll be doing 25 minutes so we can, make sure that we respect our time the most we can. And as usual, we'll do a quick prayer and meditation before we get in. Would you like to guide this meditation? I'll just put the timer in the.
Can lead us
Okay.
into. I can
Perfect.
lead
Would you
us
like to lead
into.
us? Oh, okay. Perfect.
Certainly. Certainly. Well, I'd like to express the gratitude that we have for being together tonight, to open our hearts to connect with all the ones who are listening to us in any language all throughout the world. Please let us be guided into being inspired, into sharing with clarity, sincerity, love, compassion, whatever is the most useful, caring for the ones who are listening and that are with us. May we shine our lights widely and strongly together. Amen.
I love it, girl. Oh, okay. Chloe's gonna practice her English tonight. I hope you're gonna love what we're gonna be talking tonight about. Chloe, thank you so much for joining us. So we stressed out a little bit of a theme we wanted to talk about tonight, and then I'm sorry, like I just ate, and I'm so full, so I'm like really like in the zone and energy, really relaxed. I'm like,
It's
I
like
just want to leave
digestion is
now.
happening in the same time. Take a sip of water, some
Oh,
tea.
of course, this is amazing. And just before diving deeper into what we wanted to talk about, we wanted to talk about generational trauma. And I think you wanted to dive in with me as well. And I would love to know a bit more about what you think. I the more I get into my spiritual awakening and process and my journey in it, the more I see how love is very powerful. You know, and it comes upon me that people actually there's a lot of people that are hurt, and there's a lot of people who are has wounds, right? And it comes forward often daily lives, interactions with people, and when they are in a bad mood, we often fall into an excuse, right? A justification. Oh, that happened. That's why I react this way. That happened. And oh, this person insulted me. And then I'm so proud to say that this past week I've had like a like an issue came up. It was just a stranger who had a bad day, and I was just trying on the clothes. It was in the market, and I just said that today with my personal coach, and she was like so proud. And the guy started to yell because it was one fits all dress, a skirt. I want to just put that in there so you can understand why I feel more and more people are hurt, and you should not take that personally. And I was like, it one fits all. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to negotiate the price because it's a flea market, and I'm trying out on top of what I had. And then he started yelling and everything. And I was like, whoa, sir, what's happening? It's written, you cannot try it, and it kept going on. And then he was really mad, and then, like, yelling everything. I was like, sir, calm down. Of course, my body reacts because I'm still, in my we're still in our belief system, right? So then you're like react on the point, and me, I like my tongue is not in my pocket. So I was on the back way to be ready to reply and everything, and instead I was like, I was pumping my heart, and I was like, listen, sir, you have to be more kind and more gentle with your clients. You can't be rude to them. That's not how it works. I was like, no, I told you 3 times. And then it kept going on, and I said, okay, no problem, sir. And then I had other clients. So I said, you can take care of them. And I left because, I didn't want to end up buying for the store for sure. And I feel like he wasn't the boss. I think he was just a guy working there. And then as I left, I was just sharing my boyfriend. Oh, that happened. I was just, pumping. And I was like, hey, wait a second. I just stopped myself. I witnessed my thoughts. And I was like, that doesn't belong to me. We don't know what happened in his life this day. We don't know what bad day he had, or maybe a good day he had, or whatever happened. I just have to release it. And I was just so proud because for me, that's a big step in my life because I used to really react a lot. And I'm really like, I have a character, right? So I had a hot blood, and they were like, hey, you don't bullshit me. I'm going to respond to you and everything. And then the fact I was able to just stop myself and say, hey, that doesn't belong to me. Take deep breaths. And it's like, I give that to God. And then I was like walking by, and 2 minutes later, I was like, oh, look at this store, look at that. And I forgot about it. You know what I mean? And that's amazing because I feel like if everybody gets awareness that, and I know people know, and it's easy to say, yeah, it's easier to say than do it, just able to be aware of it and see that when something comes up to you and then it triggers you or you feel insulted, it's never about you. It's simply a reflection of their own wounds and what they feel about themselves or what their self-image is, right? So we ended up talking about generational trauma. I'm sorry, but I just came with that came up for me. But so at the end of the day, it's beautiful to see that once you understand that, and I'm able to bring myself and detach myself from thing that you think you should take personal, but it should never be personal, then I see the power it has to be able to release it, and then nobody can. I'm still working on it, but I'm just realizing nobody can hurt me, or affect me at this point because it doesn't belong to me. It's not mine to react to. They have their own issue to work on, and it belongs to them. And then all you can do is just pray for them and give back them love. And that's where the challenge is. But I feel it's so important to mention it, and we'll talk about it again about God, about love. It's so powerful, girl. And I just wanted to share that because we all come from families who has all issues. Obviously, we're not perfect, right? And I think we can talk about a long time about all the issues, and all my friends do, and all my entourage, we all have wounds, right? So then my family's issue came up this week, and then once again I was able to show up for myself and detach myself because that doesn't belong to me, right? And before, when you love somebody, when you care for them, you have the tendency to care so much and get attached, and like, I'm going to do everything to change their outcomes. I'm going to do everything to change themselves. But you can't do all of it because if they don't want to do the effort or are ready to do this effort or the change, nothing will change, right? So you have to detach yourself and have a certain distance, still be compassionate and still feel for them, but in the distance. I don't know if you feel what I mean. So
Yeah.
I'm just happy that I was able to share that with you, girl. It's something that's been I wanted to
Thank you for sharing
remember, for this past week, what I've learned for myself.
It's meaningful. And congratulations for this turnaround. And it's so important to share it. There are steps in turning it around, for sure. So reacting, just noticing that we're reacting versus responding. It's one of the first, practices. It's daily. It's every moment. It's there is I find in the spiritual community, some spiritual communities, the illusion that we won't be challenged somehow, that we're detached so much that we'll probably float in the air and not be at all affected by it. in my experience, in a deeper, there's a detachment and there's a deepening. So in a holistic view, in a human, like soul and body and emotional side of the human, it comes together. So I remember living what I call the expression of my pain body. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, but I call it expressing the pain in my body, express the voice of my anger, the voice of my wound. Like if your wound would, your abandonment wound or your rejection
Yes,
wound would
there's five
talk.
wounds, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so
For those who want to dive deeper,
yeah, you should just read that
Lise
on the.
Bobo, the five
Can you tell them
wounds.
before you continue?
I'll try to remember actually the five. So there's the abandonment, there's the wound, the rejection. I don't think I'm gonna remember all five.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say of the core wound is it's the separation. So I've read them. I went deeper on them, and then I just kind of sum it up. Wound of separation. So kind of the father, why did you abandon me wound.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's the
so
betrayal wound as well. Sorry,
which one?
betrayal wound. Yeah.
Yes, the betrayal. Yeah, there's five, and I really don't remember them specifically. However, you can definitely know that you've been triggered from how you feel in your body and your reactivity levels. So there's different levels of reactivity. Regarding what we can do, I think at the beginning of the journey and of the practice is wonderful just to detach really, and to say really this is what belongs to me, like my level of reactivity, my body, my inner feelings, and this is what belongs to them. And once we advance more into the practice and we want to deepen the transformation, the turnaround, like turning trauma into evolution,
Yes.
we can practice being a witness, a loving witness of that which is beyond their wound that's talking. And that is connected to the emotional levels of the human. So in this case, this man was expressing angrily, I don't feel seen and respected, because I repeat it, and it happens to in couples, and it happens to everybody. So actually, beyond his words, what he's really feeling, most probably, is the wound of rejection, or the wound of probably abandonment. We're not like, I don't want to nuance it at this point, but for sure, not feeling seen or heard, because they communicated. Actually, they communicated in a very raw, you know, emotional communication, but we can definitely, it is a wonderful opportunity to get attuned with the finesse of the emotional and spiritual experience. And that's a beautiful practice. It's a beautiful opportunity. However, we don't jump into it from the beginning, or it depends. We're not always readily available or feel like turning it into a practice. Like I really like the basic, especially at the because you get triggered yourself, is detach and breathe, so you become aware, or you keep your awareness level active. If not, it's just you're falling yourself into the unconscious, and you yourself are giving voice to your wound, because you too have been, you don't feel heard and seen and understood, and then we project on each other, right?
Yeah.
But there is a beauty. So in like, if ever we are open and present enough to go kind of deeper, we can actually activate a state of compassion in our hearts, and allow in silence and understanding and seeing the other one, seeing beyond the surface of the wound expressing itself, the soul, even the inner child, that just needs to be soothed and seen and heard, which usually makes us respond with, I hear, I understand, I hear you. I hear that you're saying, like validating whatever the feeling. And it's not just to do it. Like, it's not just to say it to say it. It's actually, okay, I'm hearing that you felt like I didn't hear you. I'm hearing you now. Alors, c'est un, on désamorce. I don't know in English. I don't know.
We
I have it in French.
undo the bomb, I guess.
Yeah, we undo the bomb. Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
I love it.
And it works with, to be honest, it works even with, I practice it with people being intoxicated when I used to work in the detox center, like very highly reactive, aggressive
Oh, wow.
humans. You have to have a rooted practice and presence of the heart to actually, like, I wouldn't advise it to just go around and beam your heart space. Like, you need to be very rooted and clear about, and very assertive in your light and your intention of peace. Peace is not a passive energy. It's a high beaming light. So if I have the intention to make peace and calm one with my energy, it will be done so with the power of my intention and presence and my words, because peace is a higher energy than anger in vibration.
Love it.
I'm always fascinated about when I hear, peacefulness. What do you mean? It doesn't, in vibration, peace is the highest vibration. It's a very strong vibration. It's not because it's not moving outer, in the outer world,
That you can see it, that
or
it's not.
agitated. Precisely, it's very stable, it's very certain of itself, it's very clear, its intentions are pure for both. There is no power struggle. I don't want to dominate you. I don't want to prove you right. There's no ego fight in peace. There's literally just, I hear you, I see you. And within that space, I can also share that I don't feel seen, or I feel that there is a misunderstanding, an overreaction, and this was not my intention. I can explain myself and communicate my needs and perceptions as well as you. It doesn't need to be who's right or wrong. You're the bad one, I guess if you're the bad one, I have to be the good one, or if I'm the good one, well, you gotta be the bad one. If
We're
it's a dual
taught.
fight, yeah.
We're taught this way.
And we are taught this way, and what you're sharing about this and generational trauma. I mentioned I had a dream with my grandmother last night, actually. So it was present with me, this idea of evolution, turning trauma into evolution. It's basically, in a nutshell for me, it's breaking the patterns in the body, mind, and emotional wiring of doing something completely new. Turning generational trauma into conscious evolution lineage. I'm going, if my grandmother, mother, ancestors, everybody before me was at the primitive level in which we're fighting with rocks, or in this case missiles or whatever, primitive, really, I will be the one who will choose something totally new. So I will break through, and I will break out of dynamics of duality, black and white, good or bad, anything that's separated, that doesn't see the whole, and respond versus react, choose peace in words and actions, and kind of like imagine an icebreaker in Alaska, just break through that ice. There's no path, right? It's a completely new a new ocean space. Well,
So it's going out at the end, your comfort zone, like it's delimited by your belief system, it's delimited by your paradigm. So basically, I love it, turning your trauma into an evolution, into something
into
even better.
transformation.
And it's all based on values for me that I'm learning in my spirituality. It's all based on values of peace and love. Those are the strongest things in the world. And I can't wait for people to open their eyes to that. I can't wait for people to realize that, hey, we're just all the same. We're just all brothers and sisters. We're all here. We're all hurt. And all the hated words and all this rejection that they feel, all these wounds that we keep bringing forth will break up, because we'll transform that into evolution. And I want to push forward what you just said about how we transform trauma into evolution. I realized that people are used because of our ego, right? My ego that I'm still working on. Like, it used to be so much bigger before, I'm telling you. And then I'm so proud of where I'm going towards. And it's so beautiful to see the process and my journey. But we're so used to, like, when somebody insults you or you feel triggered or there's a fight or brawl or blah, 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 to react with bad emotions, to react with, like you say, with being mad, to being, sad, or to being crying, or with emotions, right? Like, there's no control because our ego makes us, and our beliefs makes us react this way. But what if we break the chain, like to say, and then you do something that's completely out of what we used to generations before, and react with love? And that's where I'm at right now in my mindset, is that what if I just react with love? And that's a huge, like, I'm not gonna hide it, guys, that's a huge challenge. But, like, let's say somebody's like blah, 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 and yelling at you, or freaking being mad whatsoever, or just insulting you, or just hurting you, whatever. You react with love. You're like, it's okay, I still love you, I love you, I love you, and you keep showing them love. And, like you say, in the same time showing them that you understand them, you hear them, that you want that, because you want to feel heard. But you're also in a mindset of peace, right? You want to make peace right now. What can we do to resolve this issue? And I still love you. And people, I really feel like people going to be step aside, step back from it, because they're not used. They're used to have somebody, if I yell to you, you're going to yell back. They're used to have somebody, if I insult you, you're going to insult me back, or cry, whatever. But if you react with love and just peace, what do people will do? It will take them so much aback in a positive way. They're gonna say, hey, oh, I don't have to put my arms up, I don't have to put my shields up. I, I don't feel attacked by this person, so maybe I'm gonna start calming down. Maybe my ego gonna calm down, and maybe we're gonna be truthful to each other and be vulnerable at the end of the day, right? And this is something too, we'll probably talk another time, but vulnerability in the society, it has been taught to us that it's bad and that it's a sign of weakness. That's how I've been taught. And it's just, since I've been discovered, and I keep on discovering the layers of the power of love and peace, inner peace for me, and my love from God, it just freed me so much, girl. You can't imagine. It's like, it's just insane. And I knew you lived that for so many years as well before me. And so, yeah, I love what you said.
Peace is so underrated.
Rated.
You can go wrong with that. If I would have one deep and high wish for every single person in the collective of humanity, is to truly know the value of peace, because it is underrated. It's too quickly associated with passivity or impossibility, which I don't believe in neither one of them. Throughout history, it has been proven by people that marked and trailblazed a different pathway that it is a very active and strong element of change. It is a very patient one. It's a very dedicated one. So it doesn't search immediacy. And most importantly, the most beautiful paradox is that you have to be ready to lose. That's the great thing that I love about it. And it's very humble for me to have. It's very humble for me to have made this choice various times, many, 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 many times. I remember the ego flaring up, and I had to make the choice to lose the argument, lose the habit, drop it like a hot potato. Don't take the arm, don't take the weapon.
The weapon.
And there was a moment when I realized I thought weapon is just an attack, right? It's automatically. It was a very crucial moment when I realized that defense shield, that a shield is also an arm of battle. So defensiveness
Yes.
is also something that if you really want to evolve and grow into that peace and beam it out of you, you drop it. So then we talk about vulnerability.
Yeah.
The power of vulnerability. How is that powerful? It's amazing. When you don't attack and defend, first of all, there's no energy field in that. So there's no resistance, there's no friction, there's no impact, like a ton of bricks, like a wall. And then it's really like the highest and purest and clearest energy is the one who's influencing the whole situation, yourself and the ones around you. And then you are an actor of change through your beaming, your vibration, and through your presence. And they get influenced by that presence. We get influenced and carried in that grace. Just like, so let's think about it in parallel. As we could get influenced by the lower vibration, anger, emotion, and reactivity and get pulled into the drama, spiral downwards.
Yeah.
When we choose to go on a higher ground, but it's lower ground. It's not higher. I'm not higher than someone. I'm connecting to a higher source, but I'm at the same level. I'm heart to heart. I'm not better, because superiority and inferiority, same weapons of comparison, duality, same thing. So you need to make a decision at every moment to drop all those. You're not hanging of anything. So you're ready to lose everything to gain peace. The most important intention.
I love it, girl. It's all illusion at the end of the day. You're thinking that you have to lose or win, thinking that vulnerability is bad. It's all an illusion. We have been taught this way, and then that's why I'm saying there's all these constructs that we have to deconstruct to enlighten ourselves and realize that there's so much more power we have within ourselves as souls, and with peace, inner peace, and with love. And I love how you describe the peace. This is beautiful, and I'm guessing it's coming up for you, especially with what's happening in the world. And it's amazing. And our time has been up already. It's been great. Like, it's so short. I know.
Oh dear, it's so short.
I know. So we'll talk probably about generational trauma another time, and we'll go as with the flows, right?
Yes.
There we'll go perfectly. There's no such thing as perfect, but we'll go with the flow of our discussions every week. On Wednesdays, by the way, every Wednesday is gonna be, exceptionally it was Tuesday today, but Wednesdays at 8 p.m. with my beautiful Miruna. But I want just to conclude with you, Miruna, about like, what would you say for people who they still have a lot of wounds in themselves, they still don't know how to detach themselves, because there's a lot of there's a lot of work to go in front of them, and one step at a time. But what would you tell them to ease into finding peace in any situations that breaks this peace within themselves, right? Because it's easy for people to say, yeah, Missy, I'm perfectly in peace. I'm in peace because everything goes perfectly as planned, and there's no problem in my life, right? Perception problems, right? It's not a problem per se. It's a problem because it doesn't fit your plan, right? So what would you say for those people when this peace is broken, for people just starting to understand and trying to find solution?
I would invite them to ask if truly peace is what they most deeply they wish for, because it's a commitment. Is this what you most truly want? Is it peace or love? What is it ultimately that you're committed to feeling and living every day? One question. And the second one, right after, it's crystal clear. What do you ultimately want for yourself and humanity? Second, are you aware that you're responsible of that energy creating it and maintaining it at any moment of your life, regardless of any outer circumstance. That doesn't mean you will stay fixed in it and float into, beaming light. It just means that this is your anchor and you're committing to actively choose it over and over and over again. It's an active, conscious choice.
Yes.
I would say that this is what actually has accompanied me throughout my journey, and this is my northern star. This is the higher source to which I always look at when I fall and when I get defense, when I get hurt, when I forget,
Sure.
this is what brings me back over and over again. So what is it? What is it? Get clear, get really honest about it, and awareness on responsibility and power of choosing it. Ultimately, we all choose.
We are. We are born with free
So,
will. We have the
yes,
freedom of acting and things.
that's how loved we are.
That's how loved we are, girl. And now we would
Free
love to talk
will.
about that another time. And I would love to add a third thing, which is what it's you falling within your emotions and keep going within a conflict helps you to become who you want to become. You know. So that's something I would love to add as well because I'm joining the personal development in the mix and I love it, girl. I am so happy that we were able to join again this week. I'll definitely
Me
post that
too.
up again on Instagram, guys, with the highlights of what we've discussed just now, and I'll share that in my channel as well on YouTube, and I'll do it on other channels. I'm so happy and excited. Thank you so much, Marina, for your time. Thank you so much, people, for
Thank
having
you, my
come.
dearest Macy.
And if ever you want to see it, once again, it's going to be up in a download for my channel on the YouTube or on Instagram. I'm trying to figure this out, but yeah, definitely. I'm so thankful for our time together. Thank you for your time, your precious time, because we all have precious times that you know, once you go in it, it doesn't come back. That's the most precious things you have in life. And I love you so much, girl.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it was time well spent, really. I couldn't think of another most inspiring energy to connect with in an evening of Tuesday. And can't wait to see you next Wednesday for our soulful conversation.
Of course. So see you next Wednesday, my dear, 8 p.m. And I can't
Next
wait as well.
Wednesday.
There's so much to say.
Light, peace to everyone. May we be so consciously active in peace because the world really, really needs it.
I'll pray for each of you. I pray for you, girl, and God bless us all.
God bless us all.
Bye, my
Talk
dear.
to you soon.
Bye.